third line, right? So it's right over here. You see, like this is one of those poster shots,
Right.
you know. But for me to justify from this to this, I need to visually mesh it in my head. So this is when you have very like a cross section from like one thing to the next.
And that's what you were showing with the leg.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's very abrupt. It has to be abrupt because if it's not, if it's slow, it becomes like almost like an appreciation of the shape, and that's against the ideology of that film. There's no appreciation of the shape. It's basically given to you, but you're not supposed to have scenes where I don't know, like someone's crying and then like you have a focus on the tear and the tear falls. It's not a poetic film. It's not supposed to be a poetic film. So these
what do you mean an
switches.
appreciation? Just explain more of what you mean by appreciation.
The aesthetic is such that there is no appreciation of the visual aesthetic, and it makes it aesthetic, in a way.
So I just want to be very clear. So, for example, what do you mean that there should be no appreciation of?
So there is an appreciation for what's going on. There's an appreciation for the visual information, but there's no visual appreciation of that situation. It's two
So
different things.
Okay, it's actually three different things.
Yeah, three different things.
It's three different things.
Yeah, you're right.
So, okay.
First, there's the story that has been almost like forced because I'm not a storyteller. I don't feel like I'm a storyteller.
When you say it was forced, that's part of the NFB, or
No, it's just the
emerged?
film has to try to emulate a situation that you can empathize with. But I'm not an empathetic person in general. Like I'm not good with this. So in a way, the only way for me to do is to kind of force it the way you would have someone telling you how to put the seatbelt on in the plane. You know, it's like now we have a situation that's supposedly human, you know, and now we're looking at it from this angle, then we're looking at it from this angle, and then we focused on the ear, but we shouldn't have, so we're going to focus out and go.
So it's a logic. It's a kind of a logic.
It's a logic that is like broken, but still functioning very well. You know, it's like things are kind of on autopilot. The film it could be made by a machine in a way, you know, and this is why going back to these three different things, you're not going to have a scene where I'm going to get this out of the way because it's in the way. Okay. It served me well. So that's another thing. I use a lot of references.
Sure.
Basically, we have this is the moment. This is an emotional moment. She feels a certain way. We're asking ourselves why she's feeling this way. So then we have to explain it, and the way we're explaining it is with this shot right over here, and that's over here as well. Right. So this shot, but this shot is autosufficient. You know, I could have cut to it directly. So basically, to avoid any room for like confusion from the audience, from this shot to this shot is the tool that I call like either like a form of bridging, like a mental bridging from one thing to the next, to limit any to make sure there's no way that anybody can be off track. You know, so the film is closed to interpretation. It's not open to interpretation. But in the same time, you're so hyper realistic, and so you try to get it inside the shape that you lose yourself in abstraction anyway. So it's still open to interpretation. So it's like a sequence of contradictions. You know, the whole visual approach is a sequence of contradictions because it's appreciating, but it's depreciative at the same time, and you know, in a way, it's if that makes any sense. I don't know if that's clear.
It's more the term of appreciation. You mean you don't want the viewer to focus on something. You want them to see it. You want them to. Am I correct in saying that you want them to see it? You want them to understand the shape. You want them to. But you're not really that concerned whether they relish that shape?
Yeah,
Is that what you're
exactly.
saying, that you don't want them to be fixated on the preciousness of the...
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is avoid the thing that you were feeling last time, where you
Yeah.
want something to stop because you like the image, you know.
That's right.
I'd like it to be.
Did anybody else, or is it just... I
Um,
don't want to think...
I didn't test it with so many people. The new version where there's so many motions like this, I didn't test it on so many people. I don't have a big sample on the audience.
But it's an important concern for you that you don't want anybody to overly like a shape.
I'd like people to be immersed in the visuals, but in a way where the visuals are information. They're not decoration for the story. Because I find that decorative visuals undermine visual language. They create a hierarchy between the literal world and the visual world, as if the visual world is there to illustrate the literal world. I'd like the story to be a visual story. So do you like it? It's like saying you like the message of someone telling you that they walked their dog this morning. Do you like that message, or did you just get the information? That's the big difference. You're getting the information of the visual information. You're getting the visual information of how this would work, how the anatomy of this character would work. But whether you like it or not is not relevant. You know what I mean?
So, can we focus on the question that we started talking about the other time, which was on
Yeah.
dreaming? It's just
Okay.
on the dream.
Yes.
Okay. So, which is
I
the
remember.
section that you're going
Yeah.
to be looking at? So I'm going to start myself so
So,
that I get
yeah.
it over there.
So I think this is where the mood board becomes relevant for you, because the dream sequence is a sequence that is variable. You know, it's not really supposed to be anything specific. It's about the feeling.
Okay, but I just want to feel. I just want to.
So it'd be this would be here, and the dream sequence is here, here, and all over the place. And you have the mood board over there.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
So basically it's this,
Where are we going?
this, and this,
Okay.
and a bit of this, and also a bit of another.
Just kill me now.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's all a
Well, you
dream.
can work with the
Because
camera.
it's all a dream, right?
The-
It's
the
all
world is a dream.
I got it. I get the message. Where do you think we should start in terms of situating, just to talk about it in general?
I mean,
Just to talk about it, and then I'll jump.
I need to be guided by your questions. I don't know how to start
Okay,
this
so
topic.
let me get to a place where I could actually, because what's happening,
Maybe here, I think would be a better idea.
the light is putting you into silhouette.
That's good.
No, it's not good, because I
As long
can't
as you get a
see.
profile.
No, because then I can't see your eyes and what you're really looking for. Can we just try to close a little of that?
Norman can help you on that side.
The sun is shining very well.
Oh, there we go.